Tripping over the lunch lady. I'm never going to be a gymnast. You know how people say some folks can't walk and chew gum at the same time? Oh, yeah, they were talking about me. I fall downstairs and roll out of bed onto the floor. I drop things on my toes and get trapped in closets. I've broken my arm making cookies. Don't ask. I even got locked in my own locker once. I wanted to see what it was like inside and had to stay there until the end of the school day for the janitor to let me out. Do you know how embarrassing it is to be caught in a locker? Just ask me. I'm especially not good with my feet off the ground. I was telling Mr. DeMeister just that about the time I went flying off the trampoline over Tony Friedman's head yesterday and scared him so bad. He wasn't spotting for me. He was talking to Gus Jackson about what they were going to do after school, that he choked on some gum that he wasn't supposed to have in his mouth. Right about the time he was having the Heimlich done on him and Gus was screaming to apply direct pressure. Luckily, we just had a first aid class the period before gym. I realized what everyone calls me is probably true. Jinx. That's how everyone refers to me. My own parents, even. Mom thinks it's cute. My Uncle Jeff began calling me Jinx when I started crawling backward as a baby and getting stuck in boxes, under tables, and even, the story goes, a pair of my dad's boots. Dad pats me on the head like an old skunky stray, and says Uncle Jeff was just like me. Yeah, right. Uncle Jeff drives a Porsche and lives in a cabin in the woods with a hot tub. I'm too uncoordinated to ever drive a car, and I'm pretty sure a hot tub is just a bad accident waiting to happen. I love Uncle Jeff anyway, though. I guess he might have been a jinx back in the day. But hey, he must have grown out of it, which doesn't necessarily mean I will. I am never going to be able to keep my feet together and fly perfectly on the trampoline. I'm never going to be able to make a basket without breaking somebody's bones. The doctors did do a good job on Mr. DeMeister's nose, though. I'm never going to run like my sister or kick a soccer ball like my brother without falling, throwing up, or pulling a muscle on me or someone else. My dad won't even let me use a steak knife. I still have to cut meat with one of those plastic picnic things that sort of look like a knife. But a while ago, everything changed. My whole life even, because of something I saw on the Folk Arts channel. A couple of days after that, a picture in an album made it feel exactly right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people I've run over, stepped on, and tripped up, I am going to be a square dance star. The dancers on television floated over the floor, arm in arm. They smiled and laughed, and nobody fell into anyone else or sprained anything. They were all so happy and even seemed to really like each other. And then I saw this woman who looked just like my mom. She could have been my mom, she looked so much like her. Then in the middle of a swing around, she looked at the camera in the eye and smiled at me. Honest, it was as if she looked right at me to say, you could be me, and look, I can do this. Wow. It was just a couple of days later when a picture fell out of a photo album I had just dropped in the fish tank. I rescued everything pretty quick, except now our goldfish hide when I come close to the tank. But there, in living color, was a picture of my mom, arm in arm with this kid with hair way down his back, square dancing. It was in my genes. I knew then it was meant to be. And not only am I going to be a star, I'm going to be the 5th grade school gym square dance champ of the world, and no one's going to stop me. Ouch. It's a hard thing to change people's minds about how things are done and to get them to do something new. This is how it went with Mr. DeMeister when I went to his office and told him what might be the most wonderful thing since knee pads and bandages. What? He said, sort of backing away from me like he always does. Square dancing, Mr. DeMeister. Square dancing. It's fun and it's good exercise for everyone. I saw it on the Folk Arts channel and practiced with a huge stuffed teddy bear. What? It was real cool the way the guys swung the girls and everyone skipped and twirled around the room. I think it would be good for us all to learn a new skill. Learn to dance with partners, because usually the boys don't want to, and get a good workout. What? We wouldn't have to wear the frilly dresses or bow ties like they did on TV. I think our regular gym clothes would be okay. Do you think they have square dance music in the band room? What? I think a few more meetings with Mr. DeMeister will get him to come around to the square dance way. So later that day, I dropped off some square dance music at his office. He wasn't there, and I accidentally dropped a 10-pound weight I was moving off his desk onto a fishing pole that fell on the floor. There was a stuffed fish over his desk. Scary. I thought we'd be dancing by now, but days after my meeting with Mr. DeMeister, we're still on the trampoline that decided a long time ago it didn't like me. Evil is what it is, evil. And it won't even take pity on my poor classmates who keep having to catch me and throwing me back on it. Mr. DeMeister keeps yelling, "Spot Jinx, Spot Jinx." I'm feeling like a clumsy Dalmatian with all the Spot Jinx going on. And I'm thinking how happy I'd be if my 2 feet were safely planted on the wooden floor, promenading down the court. Square dancing would save me. I'd be the world's best square dancer. Maybe I could even stop wars and hunger with square dancing. I would go to other countries and dance with my square dance group that would not include any of the people who back away when I use a fork in the lunchroom or have their arms stretched out to catch me when I'm going down the stairs to art class. Maybe I'd get some award for ending unhappiness in the world by spreading square dance love all over the planet. Maybe I'd fix the whole wide world. Spot Jinx! And maybe I'll do that after I come back from the nurse's office. I don't really want to square dance, Jinx. Victoria is my best friend, and I was counting on her to help me in the gym class square dance campaign. Anyway, she's a good dancer and hasn't broken Mr. DeMeister's nose. Come on, Vic, you have to be with me on this. I'm sick of dodgeball and volleyball. I broke half of the gym windows and knocked out 2 people before Mr. DeMeister set me on the bench to watch the clock. I still don't want to square dance, Jinx. We'll look stupid. The boys won't do it, and the girls will end up dancing together with all the boys laughing at us. Victoria pulls her braids back and blows a big bubble. Senora Smith comes over and taps her on the shoulder. No gum in Spanish class. How can you learn a new language with a super bubble in your mouth? When Vic swallows the gum, Senora Smith makes a face and goes back to teaching us how to ask for a bathroom in Spanish. So what if they laugh? It'll be fun. Our feet will be on the ground, and there won't be any round hard balls to knock anybody down or break anything. Help me out. This could be great. My best friend forever, Vic will be. She's going to the gym during our free period to practice with me. We'll be square dance champions of the world when we finish. Square dancing forever. I'll be carrying Vic's books for a few weeks to class for her. Her foot cast is pretty cool, though. Bright purple, and she let me draw orange daisies all over it already. Everyone is so nosy in this school. Within minutes, everyone knew that we were square dancing under the basketball hoop when the broken foot thing happened. You'd pretty much think that it would change my mind about square dancing, except technically it was Vic's fault. We were doing just fine until she thought she heard people coming through the gym doors and turned to run. Her feet got twisted up with mine. I still feel bad for her, though. Oh, to be a square dancer. But I've got a plan. I printed out 500 flyers that say Square Dance Mania and taped them all over the school to get people talking. But the next day, everybody just looked confused when they read them, including Mr. DeMeister, who just shook his head and stared at me. And it didn't do anything to keep my feet from flying underneath me and the trampoline from smacking me in the face. I'm so used to the trampoline face by now. I dreamed last night that all of Warren Harding Elementary School was square dancing through the streets. Everybody swung their partners do-si-do. Almanad right to the corners, and then we all joined hands and circled to the left. When I woke up, I was lying on the floor with a sore arm, probably from swinging my partners in my sleep. I guess my dreams of being a gym class hero and square dancing are pretty much squashed now, since now the whole school knows how Vic's foot got broken. I spend the whole gym class with all of my friends and enemies skipping around me until Mr. DeMeister says the next person to skip around Jinx is running 100 laps. Bounce, bounce, bounce on the evil trampoline. My mom says to give it up. My dad just laughs. My little sister sticks her tongue out at me and calls me doofus. So I've been thinking, maybe square dancing isn't the thing. Maybe I can bring peace to the world and less bruises to myself with something else. Maybe jumping ropes or jacks in the gym might be okay. But then in gym, Mr. DeMeister says he wants to see me after class. What's that about? It's been several days since I hurt anybody, and even the nurse stopped me in the hall to ask me if I had been absent. Anyway, in the end, I don't get to talk with Mr. Dymeister because he's too busy getting some kid out of the basketball hoop who keeps yelling, "It was just a bet, it was just a bet." I ate all my lunch today because word got round that we didn't have trampoline in gym class. I usually don't eat much on gym days.